Welcome back, everybody, to the next episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Generation Next tournament here on the HomeBoiz channel. And today we are going to see Syrus Truesdale going up against Aster Phoenix, the Roid Machines versus the Destiny Heroes. Going over Syrus's deck, he has a 50-card deck with 26 monsters in it, and they're all very, very weak monsters that do a variety of different things, but none of them can actually be considered good monsters. Probably the two best monsters in his entire deck would be Steamroid, which can get up to 2,300 attack, but if your opponent attacks him back, then he goes all the way down to 1,300. And your other good card would be Express Roid right here, which gets you 2 cards out of your graveyard. And that's the ceiling right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is as good as this deck gets. The spell cards kind of make up for it, but they also kind of just don't. They really fall flat there. As for trap cards, you do have some good potential with Magic Cylinder, Life Force, and potentially with Microwave, and that's about it. The rest of the cards are very situational, or they're just incredibly lackluster. This tries to be a fusion deck, and it even has a couple of contact fusions, but altogether, you know, unless they manage to get out like the Super Vehicroids, it doesn't accomplish much. The side deck does its best to correct that, but with so many different issues with the deck, it's really just a matter of, did you get a god level anime style hand? And now let's take a look at the opponent. If Syrus's deck is the epitome of you need anime luck to run it, then Aster's 50 card deck is the epitome of it really shouldn't work, but these cards are just so good that they force it to work. There's a lot more consistency here with a lot of different ways to draw through it, which makes up for the fact that it is a 50 card deck. You have searchability, thinning your deck through cards like Malicious, potentially thinning with Diamond Dude. You can spam Disc Commander because the pre-errata version is the version that was played in the show, which is there is no limit to how many times you can bring him back and draw 2 cards. Then with 2 copies of Destiny Draw, a Pot of Greed, a Graceful Charity, you know, and then even a Greed pack, you can run through cards so quickly, especially with the Link Monster Extra Hero Cross Crusader, who can both summon back a Destiny hero as well as give you new ones. But not to be mistaken, this is in fact a fusion deck, and even the fusion decks can thin your deck for you, as well as remove cards, protect things, and even revive themselves. And the strategy gets even deeper when you take a look at the side deck, because not only do you have more draw and deck thinning strategies, but you have strategies for spamming the field with a couple of more monsters for your 3 tribute effects. And you also have a lot of cards to support Destiny Hero Plasma, since that's kind of where his deck went in the later seasons. But without further ado, let the duel begin. Turn 1 between these two duelists, with Aster taking the first turn, and he doesn't have a lot to work with, but he will set 3 face down cards before passing turn. Syrus also has nothing to work with, simply ending with the T set. Back to Aster's turn, he's going to be normal summoning the Destiny Hero Fearmonger, swinging over the Decoy Roid with 1,000 attack points. Syrus is not the most defensive duelist in terms of actually being able to wall anything, so Fearmonger is kind of a 50-50, and here we see the downside. Swinging into the 1,600 defense Express Roid on Syrus' side of the field, Aster sets another monster before passing turn. Syrus can still accomplish fuck all, so he's going to have to end his turn without playing a single card. And switching the Fearmonger into defense mode, Aster will be doing the same thing. So it looks like they're both either trying to build up the field or build up their hand. Syrus sets a face down, which is then targeted by Mystical Space Typhoon, and it turns out that the face down was just a Mystical Space Typhoon. So hilarious play. Aster got fucking red there, but also Syrus could have used that. It's really unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Aster over here is going to be using the Graceful Charity card to draw 3 and put 2 cards in the grave. One of the cards he put in the graveyard is the Destiny Hero Malicious, which can banish itself to summon another copy straight out of your deck, and it's going to go ahead and be sacked off with the other 2 monsters on Aster's field for the Destiny Hero Plasma. Now, Plasma has the ability to absorb a monster on your opponent's field, making it a card in your spell trap zone. It can absorb half of its attack points, I believe, and it can negate other opponents' effects while it has an equipped monster. I believe it negates monster effects that are on your opponent's field. Not only that, but Aster's going to be banishing a monster, a Destiny hero, from his graveyard specifically in order to activate Dr. D to summon back the Fearmonger straight out of his graveyard, using Malicious to get a third and final copy straight out of his deck as well, and he's going to sack them off in order to use the Link summon monster Extra Hero Cross Crusader, who can also bring back a Destiny hero from the graveyard. Fearmonger is brought back once again, but not for long, because they are going to be linked away for the Link 3 Extra Hero Dread Decimator. Now, while Dread Decimator only has a measly 2,500 for his massive sacrifice, he does at least get 100 points for every hero in Aster's grave, and it can conduct piercing damage, meaning Syrus will have nowhere to hide, nothing that he can sort of run behind in order to try to run for safety. He does have Life Force, which at the cost of 400 life points will reduce all battle damage that Aster does to 0. So this entire turn, since Aster has 2 monsters, he would take only 800 points of damage. But Aster has the face down card Trap Jammer, which will negate a trap card that's used during the battle phase. And guess what? Life Force was just used at the start of the battle phase, so it is negated, and Syrus will be taking all of that damage, taking a grand total of, I believe, 5,200 here, leaving him with 2,800 left. He can only set a monster, no spells or traps to protect him. Aster uses Swords of Revealing Light here to see what the face down is, just to double check. Gonna summon the Disc Commander just to kind of sauce him. Plasma runs over. It looks like Dread Decimator wasn't able to do any damage due to the effect of Syrus's Kiteroid monster, but Disc Commander was able to swing in for all of 600 attack points because Dread Decimator boosts the other monsters that it points to as well. Now Syrus is going to use Monster Reborn on Express Void, and when Express Void is summoned, he can get back 2 machine-type monsters from his graveyard straight to his hand, but he can't do anything with it still, so he can only set another monster in pass turn. We're going to see Diamond Dude hit the field. It's going to use this effect now that it's relevant here. We're going to see 1,200 points worth of piercing damage. I believe Diamond Dude swang in on the Stealth Roid. Stealth Roid, when it conducts a battle, after the end of that battle, it'll destroy a spell or trap on the field, including the Express Roid that's equipped to the Destiny Hero Plasma. Disc Commander's going to swing in. Kiteroid will stop the Plasma's direct attack, leaving Syrus to work with 400 life points. He's going to set 2 cards face down. Second turn of Swords is over. Aster's going to attack with Plasma, negated by Kiteroid. Then he's going to attack with Diamond Dude, and Syrus will use the Roid Reinforcement, throwing away any number of cards from his hand to the graveyard in order to bring back Roid monsters from the graveyard, except here on the final line it says that the monsters only get added to his hand. So nothing really gets accomplished here, but he gets the Kiteroid back in his hand, which he discards, but he can't do anything else. He can't stop the Dread Decimator, and it is finally game for round 1, going to Aster Phoenix. Round 2 between these two, and Aster is going to be going first once again, so it looks like Syrus chose to go second here. We're going to see Terraforming, which is really going to suck for Syrus though, because Terraforming will grab the Clock Tower Prison. So once the clock strikes midnight, he won't be taking any more battle damage, and it is now, with 1 counter on the clock, 3 o'clock. Syrus is going to set 3 face down cards and activate the Pot of Greed spell card to raise his hand count up to 4, and he's going to summon out the Tankroid with 1,500, but if it goes to the graveyard from the field, he gets to draw another card. Unfortunately, Syrus ran into the 2,700 Destiny Hero Defender, but fortunately, if Defender is left on the field in face-up defense position, Syrus draws 2 cards during his turn. So there is a big plus he's going to be potentially getting out of this. We're going to see Aster go for the Polymerization spell card play to fuse Defender to get it off the field with a Destiny Hero in his hand in order to make the Destiny Hero Dystopia. Now, Dystopia is already a very powerful monster with 2,800 using any 2 Destiny Heroes that Aster so pleases, but in addition to that, if its attack points change, it can destroy a card on the field during either player's turn once per turn. And here we're going to see on Fusion Summon, your opponent will take damage equal to the attack of a Destiny Hero that was in your graveyard that was used for the Fusion Summon. So Syrus loses 600 equal to Doom Lord's attack points. And we're going to see Dystopia swing in for the attack, but before the attack actually goes through, Syrus uses Supercharge, which will allow him to draw 2 cards when a Machine Roid gets attacked. Then, when the Tank Roid dies and it's into 13, he draws a 3rd card. So 3 plus 3 on your opponent's turn, not bad, without costing you really much of anything. He's gonna set a couple of more cards, and he's going to simply pass it back over to Aster. We're going to see him just move straight into the battle phase, and he destroyed the Einroid, excuse me, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And when Einroid gets destroyed, he can throw away 2 Roids from his deck. So it looks like he chose to throw away Amburoid and UFO Roid. We're going to see what he's going to want to do here. Clock Tower Prison officially has 3 counters. So on Syrus's next turn, Aster will no longer be able to take battle damage, and he's already at the perfect 8,000, so he has not lost a single point. Express Word's going to hit the field in attack mode, and when Express Word gets summoned, you get back 2 machine monsters from your grave to your hand. Now we're going to see double Cyber Summon Blaster. So every time a machine gets special summoned, Aster takes 300. With their 2 copies on the field, Aster will actually lose 600 per special summon of a machine, and Syrus also is going to dig deeper into his deck with the Graceful Charity, throwing away 2 more cards. So it looks like he chose to throw away the UFO Roid and a Viacoid Connection Zone, which is a fusion spell card. Very, very interesting there. We're going to see more set cards, and he's going to end his turn with the 400 attack monster in attack mode on his field. Now during the battle phase, Syrus is going to activate the Call of the Haunted trap card, and Aster is going to respond with Mystical Space Typhoon on the Call of the Haunted. But now that there is no more MST to worry about, Syrus is going to use this opportunity to activate Life Force. So it seems that Call of the Haunted was some sort of clever bait, because it would have been somewhat bad if Syrus got out to that, I would assume. And now he will only lose 400 life points every time he's meant to take battle damage. So while he can't do anything in Aster, he can significantly reduce Aster's damage output against himself. Polymerization is going to be used on Syrus' side of the field to fuse the Ambulance Roid with the Rescue Roid in order to fusion summon the Ambulance Rescue Roid. And since that's a fusion summon, which is a special summon, we're going to see 600 points of damage Aster's way, and now we have lots of things in the chain. Chains 1 and 2 being the Cyber Summon Blaster. For chain 3, we're going to see Aster activate Defusion, which is going to fusion summon a Destiny Hero monster using the monsters that he has on his own field, and it will be protected from destruction, I believe. But Syrus responded to Defusion with Diffusion, which will separate his fusion monster, meaning he does not have enough monsters on his side of the field in order to conduct the fusion summon to begin with, and he's going to lose those 600 points of life points. We're going to see Shuttle Roid hit the field, so it can do 1,000 points of damage if it gets attacked, I believe. Now Syrus is going to use the Monster Reborn spell card, so here comes Express Roid. That is another 600 points, and he gets to add 2 monsters straight to his hand. He chooses Rescue Roid and Ambulance Roid, the 2 pieces of Ambu Rescue Roid. That's 600 to Aster's face right there. Battle phase, the Ambulance Rescue Roid runs over the Disc Commander, and for whatever the reason, it looked like Syrus did not attack with his other 2 monsters on the field. He simply ended his turn there. Aster is going to draw into the Destiny Hero Diamond Dude, and Diamond Dude will use its effect to look at the top card. Unfortunately, it wasn't a spell, so it goes to the bottom of Aster's deck. He has a 1400 monster though, swinging over the 400 attack Express Roid, but of course we're going to see Life Force kick in and save him, and now Ambulance Rescue Roid's effect is going to be activated here. So when one of his monsters dies in battle, he can summon it back from the grave in defense mode once per turn, and since Express Roid is a machine that was just special summoned, not only does Aster take another 600, but Express Roid is going to add 2 more cards to Syrus's hand. So now Aster's left with 6,200 and no cards he can play at the moment. Clock Tower is going to continue to gain counters even when it's past due. Syrus sacrifices the Express Roid in order to just normal summon the UFO Roid. It can float if it does die in battle, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to crash into Diamond Dude for a measly 200 points of damage, be able to special summon itself back, do 600 with the Cyber Summon Blaster, and it looks like he also from his deck chose to special summon the Decoy Roid with 300 attack and 500 defense. His effect says that if Aster were to attack, Decoy Roid has to be attacked first before anybody else gets hit, and since that was also a special summon, that means Aster lost 1200 this turn. We're going to see Diamond Dude die there, and that is going to be all for this move. Now, Aster does have Destiny Draw, and he does have Dynatag in his hand, but it looks like he's trying to save Dynatag just in case he might need it, so he doesn't go for the Destiny Draw after all. We're going to see Syrus draw into the Vehicroid Connection Zone, which is a potential fusion, but only for very specific fusion monsters. It's a little bit complicated. Aster sets one and passes. Syrus, for his turn, he has a lot of machines building up. He doesn't have a whole lot of plays necessarily, though. Plays nothing. Destiny Draw is going to get rid of the Captain Tenacious in order to give Aster his 2 cards. Now he has 2 cards in the back row, and he just summoned the Destiny Hero Dread Servant, where normally Dread Servant will just give the Clock Tower Prison a counter. But when Dread Servant dies in battle, Aster will be able to summon the Destiny Hero Dreadmaster and give it lots and lots of attack points. He decides to pass here because he doesn't have too many Destiny Heroes on his field. I'm assuming he wants to be able to summon at least one more before he crashes and summons. But for Syrus' turn, we're actually going to finally see the Vehicroid Connection Zone be activated. And he's going to fuse his Rescueroid with the Launcheroid in, I guess, his hand in order to make the Super Vehicroid mobile base. It doesn't really accomplish much, though. It just kind of moves around. But that is a special summon, so that's another 600, putting Aster at 44. We're going to see Rescueroid get normal summoned here, and mobile base is going to do something. So it looks like he got a level 4 monster, the Expressroid. So that's another 600 and another 2 cards added back to his hand. He has become the master of resourcefulness here in this duel before us. He decided to say, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and just get it over with. I know it's coming on your turn anyway. There's no point in hiding. At least this turn I can go ahead and do some damage to you. So Syrus ran into the Dread Servant. Dread Servant destroys the Clock Tower Prison, and now Clock Tower Prison will summon out the Beast from Within, Destiny Hero Dreadmaster, who will protect the Destiny Heroes from destruction for, I believe, 2 turns, and summon 2 Destiny Heroes from the graveyard. He chooses Captain Tenacious and Disc Commander for a pathetic 1100 attack points, but when the Disc Commander gets summoned back from the grave, the controller of the monster draws 2 more cards. So he did accomplish quite a lot for someone who accomplished nothing. And it looks like mobile base moved around on the field. A Roid monster went back to Syrus' hand. Not really sure the purpose of this, but this is a standby phase. Captain Tenacious will bring back Dread Servant, who died in battle during the last round. Increases Dreadmaster's attack points by 400, and we're going to see Diamond Dude with a much bigger 1400, giving Dreadmaster a total of 2900 attack points. Going to attempt to swing. Syrus will use the quick play spell Support Mission to add a Roid to his hand straight out of his deck. So he's setting up for a fusion play here. Then we're going to see the D-Chain equip onto the Destiny Hero Diamond Dude to give it 500 points of attack points and do 500 burn damage every time it kills a monster. But when a monster dies, Rescueroid will add it back to Syrus' hand. So we're going to see that happen. And now, with Dreadmaster crashing into Rescueroid, it looks like Syrus activates his final face down, the Limiter Removal, to double the attack points of all of his machine monsters, but they all die at the end of the turn. So he's really trying to clear space. He does reduce the damage down to only 200, which is a lot less than what he was going to take. It's even less than what he would have taken if he just used the effect of Life Force, so there's that. But the monsters will all die at the end of the turn. Vehicroid Connection Zone protects the mobile base since it was fusion summoned with that specific spell card. And we're going to see Syrus finally take his turn again. A normal summon with Drillroid, which I find very interesting. It'll automatically kill any monster in defense mode it fights, which would be Captain Tenacious if Aster didn't have D-Counter in order to blow up the Drillroid on Syrus' field. What a shame. With too many cards in his hand, he has to throw away a bunch of monsters that he slowly added over the turns. Diamond Dude's effect is a bust once again, but by linking away 2 monsters, Aster gets the extra hero Cross Crusader, who will dig deep into his graveyard, special summon the Disc Commander, allowing him to draw 2 more cards as it was special summoned. Then sacrificing it gives you any Destiny hero from your deck to your hand. So it looks like Aster's going to aim to summon another level 8 monster, since he searched for the Destiny Hero Dogma, and he could, but why would you want to sacrifice your Dreadmaster, you know? On Syrus' turn, we're going to see Shield Crush, which destroys any monster that's in defense position, namely the Destiny Hero Captain Tenacious. he will set a face-down defense monster of his own before passing turn. Aster's going to respond with a Pot of Greed and by activating the effect of Diamond Dude. Once again, it's a total bust, not a single spell card. Dr. D is going to banish Dread Servant from the graveyard in order to bring back Disc Commander yet again, and I see exactly why he was banned now, even within his own archetype series. And we're seeing lots of searching and drawing here. Aster's down to 21 cards, and it looks like so is Syrus. Diamond Dude is going to be swinging into that 1900 attack or defense points, Tankroid, and it'll gain a giant boost from Dread Servant, but from Blade Master. More importantly, though, Blade Master's attack point boost onto Diamond Dude not only is its own separate boost onto Dreadmaster, but since Diamond Dude's points are 800 higher, so is Dreadmaster. So we have this sort of 2-for-1 special going on here. D-Chain will attempt to do 500 damage after Syrus draws due to the effect of Tankroid, and he threw away for his 7th card of the turn, the Destiny Hero Malicious. So very, very interesting what he's going to set up for here. We're going to see Syrus go for the Steamroid with only 1800, but if it attacks your opponent, it gains 300 attack points, making it stronger than the Dreadmaster. Alas, Aster has 2 copies of the D counter because he does not want to lose by any means necessary. So there we go with that. Malicious is going to use its effect, summon another copy. Diamond Dude pops, absolutely nothing gets hit. Then we're going to see the Cross Crusader sacrifice the Malicious for another Destiny Hero monster to the hand, and we'll see the Destiny Hero Celestial right there. Now, Malicious uses its ability to summon the last copy of itself. We got the gang back together. Unfortunately, we did not go into the Dogma like I would have enjoyed to see, honestly, but we do have a second Blade Master, boosting the attack of all of Aster's Destiny Heroes, making Dreadmaster 7,500 attack points. So he's going to swap or run over Syrus's defense monsters. Life Force is going to do the absolute best that it can to keep him alive, and it was in fact enough, leaving him with only 1,500 life points left, so he can negate about 3 more instances of damage. We're going to see Steamroid make a big play here, destroying the extra hero Cross Crusader linked monster, but it was also a negative because now he gets a free monster as well. So here comes the Dread Servant once again. It's just kind of there, but more importantly, it adds even more fodder to the Dreadmaster. He's gonna attack with 4,700. Syrus responds with the trap card Magic Cylinder to reflect the damage back at him. Syrus wins round 2. In this round between Aster and Syrus, Syrus is actually going to be taking the first move, simply setting 3 cards face down and ending his turn without a single monster. Meanwhile, Aster is going to be grabbing the Terraforming card in order to get the Clock Tower Prison, but he's also going to use Pot of Greed to draw 2 more cards on top of that. After setting a card, he's going to throw away the Destiny Hero Blade Master to use Destiny Draw in order to draw 2 more monsters, and he's still not done drawing because now we see Graceful Charity draw 3, throw away 2, and it looks like he threw away Doomlord and Disc Commander, which is actually really not good. He might be able to draw even more cards later on in this turn. We're going to see the Clock Tower Prison activate, so in 4 of Syrus's turns, Aster will no longer be taking battle damage. Now we see Dr. D, so banishing a Destiny Hero, he can bring back a level 4 or lower, and there's the Disc Commander, allowing him to draw 2 cards since it was revived from the graveyard. Now Polymerization is going to come into play, fusing the Destiny Hero Doomlord with the Destiny Hero Dread Servant, and any 2 Destiny Heroes make the Destiny Hero dangerous with 2,600 defense points. By throwing away a card from his hand, he can also throw away a Destiny Hero from either his hand or his deck, and for every Destiny Hero that's in the graveyard, all the heroes on his field will gain 200 points, attack points that is, until the end of the turn. He's finally, after all these cards, going to normal summon the Destiny Hero draw hand, and he's going to link it away with the Disc Commander in order to make the Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader on Link Summon is going to bring back a Destiny Hero from his graveyard, so surprise, surprise, he goes for Disc Commander to draw 2 more cards since it is the pre-errata. This is the version of Disc Commander that Aster Phoenix used in the GX anime, which is why I ran with this. Now he's going to use its ability after drawing 2 more cards in order to sacrifice a monster on his field and search a new Destiny Hero. So it looks like he searched for Malicious there, using the effect of Destiny Hero Dangerous, and honestly it would have been better to play it in attack mode, maybe he's playing it safe because there are 3 face downs on Syrus' side of the field. He's going to actually throw away the Malicious and throw away Fearmonger from his deck. So now, with all those Destiny Heroes in the graveyard, his Destiny Heroes are going to be gaining 1,400 points. We're going to see the effect of Malicious, activate from the graveyard, banishing itself in order to summon out a second copy of Malicious from the deck. So there he goes, hitting the field. We're going to see 1,600 points of damage swinging in directly on Syrus, but Syrus has the Ring of Life trap card, which will destroy a monster on the field, and both players gain life points equal to its defense. So it's actually going to pop the Cross Crusader. I think I personally would have gone for the Destiny Hero Dangerous there. Get it off the field, stop his ability from milling his deck, especially with how thin he's gotten it already. It's almost at the halfway point. Both of these decks are 50 cards deep, and he's already at card 29 left in the deck. So that, and I would have been able to gain extra life points off of it. Since Link monsters don't have defense points, nobody gains any life. But that's gone there, and Malicious is going to swing in for 800 points of damage. Now, on Syrus' turn, he's going to throw away the Destiny Hero Defender so that he can throw away another monster and gain more attack points for the Malicious. But Syrus had face down a Defusion spell card, so he's going to be splitting apart Dangerous, which would negate its effect, but we're going to see Aster respond with Defusion, so he's going to be able to fusion summon a Destiny Hero using the monsters that are on his field. So he's going to be fusing the Destiny Hero Malicious with the Dangerous in order to make Dystopia. Destiny Hero Dystopia will be able to blow up a card on the field whenever its attack points change, and on Fusion Summon, he can pick one of the monsters that was used for said fusion and be able to do damage to Syrus equal to its attack points. In addition to all of that, Dangerous's effect still resolves, so Dystopia is going to be going all the way up to 4,800. So we're going to see damage be done, and we're going to see a card blow up, which is Syrus' last face down. Also, it's worth noting that since it was Fusion Summoned with Defusion, it can't be destroyed at all for this entire Syrus' turn. Not that it would be able to die in battle anyways. Since Dangerous was one of his fusion materials, Syrus will be losing its 2,000 attack points as damage, and he lost Supercharge, which could have potentially allowed him to draw 2 more cards during Aster's turn. Now, since it's the standby phase, Aster will be able to bring back the Destiny Hero Draw Guy, or Draw Hand, and both players will be drawing a single card from their deck. Now, Clock Tower Prison finally gets its first counter. Syrus is going to be opening up with Megaroid City, his own field spell, and summoning out the Submarine Roid. So, Submarine Roid has the ability to attack directly for 800 and then switch itself to defense mode immediately after, but Megaroid City will throw away a Roid monster from his deck in order to swap its defense points, so he threw away the Rescue Roid in order to do 1,800 points of damage to Aster. And while that is in fact impressive, he has no other cards to possibly defend himself with, and Aster could clearly run over the Submarine Roid as well, so as long as he stacks up enough damage, this might be gamed this very turn. We're going to see the final Malicious banish itself to summon the last copy straight out of the deck. So now with that, he's going to be normal summoning the Destiny Hero Captain Tenacious in attack mode as well with 800 points, and linking away all 3 of them for the extra hero Dread Decimator with only 2,500, but himself and the hero monsters that he points to will all get 100 attack points for every single hero with a different name in the graveyard, and Decimator can do piercing damage on the Submarine Roid. Since Dystopia's attack points have just been increased, meaning they changed, now Aster can destroy the Submarine Roid that's blocking him, and that is going to be 2 direct attacks to the face. Aster with the easy victory on only his second turn, and Aster wins the duel.